Hi everyone, it's Don once again with another video for you. This is video number 124. I'm standing here in front of the Franklin Recreation Center, which is under construction and will be opening soon. In this video, we're going to take a look at the areas down south, Middleton, Eastport, as well as Dabney, Lake Denham, and Newell. We're also going to do a now and then look of the village of St. Catherine's, Hawkins, and Case and Hammock, how it was in 2020, and how it is today. I'll also take you to some of the commercial areas that are under construction around Pinellas Plaza, Lake Deaton Plaza, Hobby Lobby, and the Hacienda Hills Country Club area. I hope you enjoy the video. So now let's get going. Let's make our first stop, the 7-Eleven going in at Magnolia Plaza. 7-Eleven appears to be making a big push for market share in the villages and Sumter County area. There's been a lot of progress in the last couple of weeks here at 7-Eleven. Here you can see the marquee sign is laying on the ground. This was shot a couple of days ago. I went by this morning and now it's standing up and I believe it's powered up. The fitting out of the interior of the building has already started and is making good progress. You can see the tank access is here in front of each of the pumps. I'm no gas station expert. I've worked in a few, but this seems a pretty poor location. Anytime there's a fuel delivery, they're going to be blocking the lane and not be able to sell the fuel. Let's head on down and take a quick look at the car wash. Here it looks like just about everything is in place. I was actually a little bit surprised when I saw this gentleman installing the signage. It's going right into the siding. I kind of figured there would be some metal supports there to ensure it was securely held. Here's a quick look at the inside of the building. You can see lots of work going on here. Okay, so let's move down Warm Springs Avenue to where it meets 301, and the new Dunkin Donuts is being built. The sign in the window says, "Opening soon." Of course, Dunkin Donuts is on the north side of Warm Springs Avenue, so it's not golf cart accessible. But that may change after US 301 is widened. If the sugary donuts do a number on your teeth, Sage Dental is right next door. Across the street on the south side, it is golf cart accessible. There you'll have Orlando Health, VIP Care, and the UPS store. No opening dates for any of these stores has been announced yet. Let's change gears for just a minute now. On March 18th, we held the first annual Spring Thing. I want to thank everyone who attended. I especially want to thank all our sponsors. It was a big success, not as big as we'd hoped. The weatherman gave everyone a fright with this forecast, but we still had a good turnout. Next year's event, soon to be announced, is going to be even better. We've learned a lot from this first event. Once again, I and the Rotary Club Noon would like to thank you for attending if you did make it. Let's shoot north a little ways to the corner of Powell Road and 466A, where CVS, Home Depot, and another mystery business is going in. Work is progressing on the CVS lot, and as you can see, Panda Express is going in on the northeast corner of 466 and Powell Road. We'll rotate around just a little bit, and we'll see where Home Depot is going to be built back in this corner. Here again, there's been no timeline announced for any of these businesses. I'm going to continue to rotate around, and then I'll rise up so you can get a good view of this area of 466 and Powell Road and get your bearings as to what's around it. The building with the gold dome on top is the village's Sumter County Service Center, which is where the library, the tax collectors, the license plates office is. Beyond it is the Winn-Dixie, and to its left is Walgreens. As we rotate to the left, we see the Beaumont development and the Trailwinds commercial area. We'll get back to this area in just a few minutes. Let's face it, we're not as young as we once were. Climbing those old-fashioned attic stairs to get the Christmas decorations down or to stow those family treasures is just too dangerous. Magic stairs is the safer alternative. Real steps with safety rails at a safer angle and safety rails in the attic provide the safest attic access available. Having troubles getting things to and from the attic? The Magic Attic Lift can be there to help. Designed by Village's resident Ron Berner, every Magic Stairs and Magic Attic Lift is custom built in their Ocala, Florida factory and installed by their technicians. Why take chances? For less than the cost of one emergency room visit, you can have Magic Stairs installed in your home. Magic Stairs, the safer, more convenient alternative. Let's slide back to the south again, and we'll take a look at what's happening in Eastport. I'll take a quick fly around and look at some of the key features that are being built right now. This is the west end of the 1,000-meter lake that's being built for dragon boat racing in Eastport. I know that many of you are wondering, when is this place going to open and why is it taking so long? I know that a lot of you watching this video weren't here when Brownwood was built. Brownwood took nearly 3 years to build before it opened up, and then it only opened up with a handful of stores. This is no different. Actually, this is a bigger project because of this pond and many of the new things that they're putting in. You also can't compare this to building a new building or even a group of new buildings because there's no infrastructure in place. There's no sewage, there's no water, there's no electric. All of that has to be built first, and then they can start building the buildings. In this shot, you can see the rubber liner that lines this retention pond. I call it a retention pond because they don't want the water to drain out. They want to keep it in here, and they'll reuse it for other purposes. In this shot, you can see the island that's being built for the grandstands to watch the dragon boat racing. You can also see the retaining wall that's being built. This is because they have to stabilize this ground more to support the weight of the bridge that will go over this part of the lake. Here you can see the progress on the retaining wall at the east end of the lake. At the top of the screen is the village of Monarch Grove. I'll rotate around a little bit to the right. And this white dot you see at the very top center of the screen is the Southern Oaks Bridge. During the week, there are hundreds of people working in this area, moving the earth and making things ready for the buildings to be built. Now, once they get past that stage, that number's going to multiply. When they start building in earnest all of the buildings, it's going to be a crazy sight out here. Here's another look at that area that's being prepped for the bridge. The island is on the right, and I guess we'll call it the mainland, is on the left. I'm working on a programmed flight for this area, in preparation for doing a now and then video on this, to see what it looks like today, maybe a year from now, and then finally when the area opens up. Yes, I have changed the order at which I'm presenting things in this video, so stick around to the very end so you can catch all the good stuff in it. Let's move to the southwest now and catch up on what's happening in Middleton and the schools that are being built there. We'll start in the middle of Middleton and head south, and we'll see the Early Learning Center that's being built. Lots of progress being made inside and out on this building. The road behind the building is Central Parkway, or the soon-to-be County Road 470. As we rotate to the left, you'll see where it goes up to the north and meets up with the original County Road 470. We'll rotate around a little bit more, and we can see more of the residential properties being built, but first we'll take a quick look at the K-8 school. Rotate again to the right, and we'll take a look at these homes being built here. This is all family housing. You can see there's many two-story houses being built here also. I've received a number of inquiries about Middleton. Well, my recommendation is go to the developer's website, mymiddleton.com, and take a look at the home plans that they're showing and the information that they're providing. They're also providing information about the potential cost for homes in this area. All of these areas in Middleton will be connected by multimodal paths, golf cart paths, if you will, with the rest of the villages. When we get to the other side of the high school, you'll see the tunnels that go underneath the main road and into traffic circles to join these sections of the villages together. Here's a view of one of the parks that's being built in this area. Seeing the bathtub ring around these retention ponds due to the lowering water level reminded me of an email I received about 2 weeks ago. I had a lady upset because the Villages was stealing the water from the retention pond behind her house to fill these new retention ponds in the new areas. Wow. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Yes, the stormwater collection system does have the ability to move water between ponds, but that's limited and isolated to each different phase of construction. It's certainly not going to happen across the turnpike. There's no massive pipe under the turnpike that the village has built to move this water. This is artificial turf they put down in these ball fields. Okay, back to the water levels. The water levels in the ponds are going down because we're in the middle of Florida's dry season. We don't get a lot of rain in the winter, unlike other parts of the country that get a lot of snow. Our wet season is the summer months, and the water that's being used is being used to water the common areas and golf courses. Just the way the system is designed, folks. This system helps conserve water by not pulling water from underground to water the grass, but to reclaim this water and reuse it again. Here they've started on another new commercial building in this section of Middleton. Quite a bit of activity going on here right now. In about 6 months we'll see similar activity in Eastport. Apparently I've upset at least one school board member when I talk about the village's developer building these schools. Yes, the developer is building and paying for these schools, not the county. But the school district will ultimately lease the property from the developer when the students start occupying the building. Hopefully that quells their discomfort with my statements. There's still a tremendous amount of work that's got to happen in the next few months to open these schools. I'll take a closer fly in now, and we'll take a look again at the K-8 school. My new home video and photo service is also available in Middleton. If you're one of the lucky people building a home here and you need my service, get a hold of me. For the month of April, I'm offering a 15% discount for the homes in Middleton.
It wouldn't make sense if you turned on something in one room and it turned on everywhere else. That's exactly how traditional cooling and heating systems work. So you pay more than you should. But Mitsubishi Electric Systems give you a better way, with no waste and lower energy bills. Control temperatures precisely in one or every room with no new ductwork. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. Make yourself comfortable.
Let's go back now to the area of Hawkins, Bradford, St. Catherine, and Case and Hammock, and I'm going to do a side-by-side of what it looked like in 2020 and what it looks like today. When I started on this particular project, I knew I had shot this video on the bottom, but I didn't remember exactly what date it was, so I had to go digging. And then I realized, holy mackerel, it was 2.5 years ago. Where has the time gone? Anyway, at the top you can see what it looks like this month, and at the bottom you can see what it looked like in September of 2020. What a big difference. The bottom half of the screen is a little more jerky and not as stable. That's because I was free-flying. I was manually controlling the aircraft. On top, the flight was computer generated. I took the flight telemetry data from the first flight, fed it through a computer program I have, it generated a pre-programmed mission, and I let the aircraft fly itself, and it smooths out all the turns. It doesn't get all the nuances of the direction changes, but it gets most of them. One of the things that you will notice is the color difference. The top one is near the end of the dry season, the bottom is near the end of the wet season. In 2020, the village of Hawkins was in the early stages of its construction. Obviously, now it's complete. Another thing you can notice at the top of each screen, you can see the village of Richmond. And in 2020, there was very little done. It was still in the early stages of grading. Here's another view of the village of Hawkins, and above it is Bradford. In the middle of the screen is the Aviary Recreation Center, both under construction and finished.
Looking for that perfect Murphy bed for your bonus room? Look no further. We offer 3 things: best quality, best service, best warranty in the industry, bar none. Give us a call, set up an appointment, 612-598-3700. 3303 murphyoffice.com.
Doug Menz from Murphy Office was one of the key people in the Rotary Club Noon group that helped put together the spring thing. Thanks for all your help, Doug. Appreciate all the hard work you put into it. As I said, the computer-generated flight's a lot smoother than my hand. We'll take a quick flight over the village of Case and Hammock, and we'll see how it looks as well as the golf course. What a huge difference once again. In the bottom video clip, you can see work has not even started on the Southern Oaks Bridge, nor has it started in the village of Newell, or anything else on the other side of the turnpike. As many of you may know, I'm a retired Navy submariner. This month of April is a very somber time for the submarine fleet, as it marks 60 years since the loss of the USS Thresher. Please watch and enjoy the following tribute to the USS Thresher and its crew. Next up, we're going to do a flyover of the West Lakes property. The West Lakes property is the villages of Newell, Lake Denham, and Dabney that are located in Lake County, Florida. We start off at the Lake and Sumter County line. This big rectangular pond is just a retention pond. It's a part of the old water treatment facility, and it existed prior to the villages buying the property. It just didn't make sense to destroy it just to dig a new hole and create another retention pond. So they just cleaned it up and they kept it. This first village is the village of Newell. This first segment of the flight was a little bit tricky. I had to try and anticipate the traffic. It took several attempts to make it, but I finally got it right. Here's one of the large sections of wetlands that was preserved. Very few existed because of the old water treatment facility, but they saved what they could. The last of the homes have been started in the village of Newell, and it'll be another 6 or 7 weeks before they finish, and Newell will be built out. The Franklin Recreation Area is in the lower right, and as we rotate around, you'll see the Jubilee and Mickey Lee golf courses. Even these brand new golf courses are feeling a lot of stress due to the lack of water because of the typical Florida dry winters.
Hi, I'm Jeff Monash with Village Air Filters. Are you tired of wasting money on throwaway paper air filters? I can save you money with my lifetime permanent washable air filters. Just buy it once and never buy another air filter again. Rinse it out and then just slide it right back in. My filters are custom made in the US and they have a lifetime warranty. Give me a call at 352-388-1230 or visit my website at villageairfilters.com.
This is the village of Lake Denham, as was the area under construction during my sponsor's promotion. During the month of April, if you're building a home in the village of Lake Denham, you can get 10% off your entire package of my services to take pictures and video of your home under construction. Just go to goldwingnut.com and go to the Our Services tab. After the last video where I showed this same area, I got a couple of questions about flood zones. Yes, some of this area down here around Lake Denham is in a 100-year flood zone or a 1% flood zone, but it's limited to these areas where the retention ponds abut the wetlands area from Lake Denham. All of the areas where the houses are above the 100-year flood zone. The first set of villa walls is going in the Dabney area. So this flight between Newell and Dabney is actually a pre-programmed flight. It's going to be part of a now and then video. This is the then, and next year about this same time, I'll make this flight again, and we'll compare the areas and see how it's changed. I've decided to try and get ahead of myself on these and do the pre-programmed flights because they're much smoother and they look a lot better than a free flight. And I can repeat it easy enough because I'll have the same program already written. So you will see this same video footage again. Coming up is the Dabney Neighborhood Recreation Area and Pool. This is where the postal station is also going. This should be an adults-only pool. Here you can see the utility mains are being buried underneath the sides of the road. The village of Dabney is the farthest east section in all of the villages. Well, at least for now, but we'll get to that in about 2 minutes. Going off to the upper left is Lake Denham Road. This is it right here. And it goes up into this area. This area is known as Unit 84. And it's a very special area that's going to be coming up probably in about 6 months. But we'll keep a sharp eye on this and we'll see if you can figure out what's going to happen here. For now, I'm very limited on my ability to get up to this area because of all the no trespassing signs. So all we can do is get some high-level shots like this. This is the gate at Magnolia and County Road 470. I got caught in traffic coming in, so I had to go past the no trespassing sign, but I immediately turned around and left. Hopefully it won't be too much longer until this gate opens up, and we'll be able to make the trip from 470 all the way up to Richmond on Magnolia Road. On the other side of this barricade sitting here is the no trespassing sign. So if you haven't already heard, the village has recently acquired another 900 acres. That's this property right here in Lake County. This is now going to be the farthest east section of the villages. It's about 1.5 miles between it and the section just to the upper left, but that's not too far, and I seriously doubt the villages is done acquiring property. This is where the rapid infiltration pond is that was recently approved. This will take excess water that's been purified from the Gibson wastewater treatment plant. Let's go up by Brownwood, where the VIP garages are being built. The VIP garages are, let's call them collector's garages. They're meant for people with a collection of maybe cars or motorcycles or other large items to have a place to store them. They're located between the village of Richmond and the Emergency Department Hospital on State Route 44. I spoke to the owner, Tom, the other day. He tells me each unit is 2,500 square feet, has 2 full bays, each with a roll-up door, has its own bathroom, an office space, and is fully air-conditioned. He also said of the 30 units, about half of them are already rented. The units should be ready sometime in the June or July timeframe. You'll find the contact information for VIP garages in the description of this video on YouTube. Here's a quick look inside one of the unfinished units. This first unit is almost complete. We'll take a quick look inside. The opening near the ground next to the door is for one of the air conditioners. Looking inside, you can see just how big it is, and it has 2 more air conditioners. I teach drone flying at the Enrichment Academy, and rule number 1 when flying a drone is keep your eye on the drone, not on your remote. This is what happens when you don't. That's a backhoe you see coming into view. I was fortunate. This did not end as badly as it could have. Here you can see the drone stuck in the backhoe. Let me get a little closer. There it is. And this is what it looked like when it was done. A couple of broken propellers, but not too bad. Now let's take a trip down to Sawgrass Grove. This started out as a trip down to Darlene's Sweet Shop to get a scoop of Zanzibar chocolate ice cream. I also wanted to get a shot of the putt-and-play course and compare it to what I've seen on some of the executive courses for conditions. But of course, this was all overshadowed by the parking here. As you can see, there's plenty of open spaces here. Let me tell you, I've gotten more ugly comments and hate mail because of my stand on this lazy parking that people are doing in front of Sawgrass Grove than anything else I've ever published. People have told me there's not enough parking, it's poorly engineered, and a handful of other excuses for why they're parking where they're doing it. Honestly, it's still just laziness. Of course, the latest thing I've heard now is it's easier to walk to your golf cart now and get a drink so you don't have to pay the prices at Sawgrass Grove. Remember, Katie Bell's went out of business because they couldn't make a profit selling ice water and air conditioning. Attitudes like these people have will do more harm than good. Fortunately, most people that I've heard from are in agreement with me that there's no reason for this kind of parking. It's completely unnecessary and it's destroying the property. Ladies and gentlemen, peer pressure is the single biggest tool we have in combating these lazy people. I didn't feel I should be swayed, though, by just what I saw on the outside, so I took a look around the inside to see just how busy it was. Doesn't look very busy to me. Here's a very entitled gentleman who decided he'd park here also. You can see the grass is pretty torn up. This is St. Augustine. It doesn't do well to heavy traffic. As you can see right here, it's pretty much shot. I wonder how these folks would take it if I drove my golf cart through their front yard every day and trashed it for them. They probably wouldn't appreciate it. Well, guess what? Most people south of 466 aren't going to appreciate having to pay to repair all this area. And this entry is meant for people who are walking on the multimodal path to have easy access to Sawgrass Grove. Fortunately, starting Monday, this is all going to stop when the district staff starts replacing all the grass with greenery in this area. This will stop the parking there. But of course, we'll all get to pay for it. Thanks a lot. All right, let's go on up to Lake Deaton Plaza and see what's happening there. The New Jersey Mike's has been open for a couple of weeks now. I'm curious on how they're competing with Publix's Deli. The Campus USA Credit Union is now open also. This is where the Ethan Allen Furniture Store is going to be going in. They have 3 units here. This is a look inside the Kumo Sushi Hibachi restaurant that's being built in the end unit in this new section of Lake Deaton Plaza. Here's a look from the back of the restaurant. This restaurant has the potential for outside seating, just like Paisano's has at the other end of Lake Deaton Plaza. The big difference is here, at night you won't be blinded by the sun because you're going to be looking east instead of west. There'll also be a lot less auto traffic at this end of the building than at Paisano's. Here again, there's no solid indication of when this restaurant will actually open. Let's head back to the north to the Trailwinds Plaza area where they're going to be building a new car wash. In the upper right is the Vice Star Credit Union, and right next to it is where they're going to be putting in a new car wash. This will make the third car wash in this commercial property development. This is the freestanding emergency room on 466A. Behind it is where HCA is planning to build another hospital. That's the Publix Plaza and Lowe's at the top of the screen. The Trailwinds area has become quite a bustling commercial district, and there's more to come. On that note, let's move a little bit more to the west, where the new Target will be built. It's going to be right next to Lowe's. This big open field will eventually be Target. No idea when construction's going to start. I'm going to rotate around and you can get a better clue for what's around here. Here's Aldi, the ABC liquor store, Circle K. Let me flip back around the other way. And now you can see Culver's, 7-Eleven, and Winn-Dixie. I'll rotate back around and look to the north, and we'll fly up here and take a look at the Wilds and see how these apartments are coming. The section on the left is another 200 units that are being built. On the right is the occupied 200 units. As we rotate to the west, you can see the Beaumont development. It's progressing also. It's nearly built out. Now let's go over to Wildwood, to where 301 and State Route 44 meet, and the new Wawa is going to be built. This intersection is scheduled for some major overhauls, both from the State Road 44 work as well as the upcoming US 301 work. This should give you a little bit of direction on where things are at in this intersection. You can see the Wawa here. That building will come down. That whole lot will be made into the gas station. And going back behind the other two buildings, the auto parts store and the other store next to it, will be a road that goes over to US 301. I know a lot of people are excited to get a Wawa here. I've been to Wawas. I've been to some of the other supersized gas stations. I don't get it. It's just a gas station to me. Let's move to the north now, up by 466, and see what's going on with the new Hobby Lobby that's being built. As you can see, they've got the walls up and the truss work in for the roof. This is built using the tilt wall construction method, typical of most big box stores, and it's also the same construction method that was used to build the 3 schools down in Middleton. This construction method is very cost effective for high volume buildings such as big box stores. It's also a very strong construction method. Once things are in place, these walls are almost indestructible. That's a loading dock at the back of the building. I try to cover a lot of things in my YouTube videos, and I hope you enjoy them. If there's something you'd like to see, drop me an email, give me a call, or leave me a comment on my YouTube channel, and I'll see what I can do in the next video for you. At the top of the screen is the Willows Assisted Living and Memory Care Facility. We'll rotate to the right and you can see where Home Goods is at. The big building at the top of the screen is the Fresh Market. And we'll rotate around and you'll see this sits directly behind Red Lobster. Alright, let's make our last stop, and we're going to move up to the north to where the old Hacienda Hills Country Club used to be, and we'll see the work going on there. As you can see, the work has started in earnest here, and they're prepping the land to build new homes here. I'll take a slow rotate around this area. They're going to be building approximately 25 courtyard villas in this location. They're also doing a complete rebuild on the postal station for this area. Yes, I know it's a major inconvenience and it's been a real fiasco. It's unfortunate, but that's just one of the necessary evils when you start doing this kind of work. Eventually, this parking lot and the area north of the practice putting green will also be raised to support this construction. We'll head over now to where they're building the new postal station for this area. I haven't heard too much yet on the construction schedule. I have no idea when the new postal station will open, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you know. As I wrap up this video, I'd like to remind you, please support my sponsors. Also, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that like button. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button twice to let me really know how badly you hate it. I wish each of you a wonderful day today and each one to follow, and encourage you to enjoy life. I'm Don Wiley. Have a great day.